next one that we are going to look at is the power steering fluid.
Power steering fluid.
Yeah.
Which one be the power steering?
So you see, the car that most of the cars you're driving now, it's the steering system. Okay, it needs some sort of fluid to make it smooth because of how the system works. So without the fluid, you realize that turning the car becomes very, very difficult. Okay, and it is this fluid in that mechanism that makes it very easy for you to turn the steering wheel. So when you are turning, when you say, "Hey, can steer me a door," you have to understand it's the power steering fluid that's causing that.
So do we bragging? Charlie, me can me
it's the power steering fluid that's doing that, and that's most of the times what we call the ATFs.
ATF. Okay, all right. So power steering fluid. Let's throw down. Yes.
So the next one is the brake fluids. You see, braking is as important, if not more important, than moving the car.
Yeah.
That's what people don't understand. Most of the accidents that happen, Charlie, more of them is the brake fail some at a point. Understanding? So the brake fluid is very important.
Yeah.
That's what helps the mechanisms, the moving. You know, in the brake system, there are a lot of movement too. When you step on the brake pedal for it to move and go and do whatever it's supposed to do for the brakes to hold, there are lots of things going up and down there. So the brake fluid is also very important. You need that in your car.
Okay.
The brake
fluid.
Yeah.
And no, so no one's awesome. Yeah. So I've shared this story several times.
Exactly.
Yeah. Where I went to, my mechanic, and yes. So he worked on the brake and he was supposed to, top up the fluid. I mean, what he did, he lost a lot of fluid. So yes. And I've always been telling him that, look, I don't compromise with the vendors that I buy, and even apart from the vendors, you have to buy it from the correct place, because I know that some of the people have fake products they use, and I kept telling him, and yes, but he himself, Charlie, he felt that he was an opportunity to disprove me. So he went to buy some brand B of engine oil. When I came, he showed it to me. I told him, look, Charlie, so brake fluid,
and I'm sure he was trying to save you money.
Yeah, I mean, he meant well. He's a good guy, very honest guy. There's not a lot of mechanics that did that level, Then started driving the thing. Then the brake just kept, going inside. Now it has to travel long before it does its job. It stops the car longer than it was before, So I knew that I knew what the culprit was. So the next I babied it to the house. The next morning I siphoned the brake fluid out, and I bought what I usually buy, in the correct grade. So the brake fluid also, there are different grades or different types. Okay, they'll say dot so and so dot so. Please, when the engineers have engineered it, so when they tell you dot 4, even below that there are some standards. They'll tell you Decron 4 and this and that. Please, these are very important things. If you have a very reliable, correct mechanic, they will do these things for you. But you and I know that you won't get that. You won't get that, especially those emergency situations where you have to do some of these things yourself. Please check again, because it will affect your car. Okay, wrong brake fluid can mess up your whole brake system. Because it's going to eat all the seals, and there are several seals in the system, and you will brake never start leaking. And when the brake leaks, it's a system that uses pressure. Okay, so when it leaks, it's brake failure. Okay, then the other thing too is the brake fluid itself is hygroscopic, right? Meaning that it attracts water.
Yeah, it
attracts water. That's one of its properties. So if it attracts more water than it's supposed to, it's going to, and there's always, once there's pressure, there's heat.
Yeah,
it's a byproduct. And once there's too much of it, it starts, your brake fluid starts boiling.
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes it does boil. Especially when you are traveling and you are speeding and you are braking, speeding, and those of you even normal everyday ride,
heavy-footed people,
Charlie, When you do that, yes,
acceleration,
you know,
on the brakes.
and immediately it starts boiling. It will fail. The brakes will fail, and you don't want that. So the race cars, they don't use the same brake fluid you put in your car.
The system is even slightly different.
Yes. So yes, depending on the kind of race car, yes, but they don't use a normal brake fluid we use. Yes, if you want to spare your life, you use a race standard brake fluid. Okay, so brake fluid, very important. So that's 4, right?
Yes, that's 4.
But that's not the last.
Yeah, we've talked about
coolant,
engine oil, power steering oil fluid, and the brake fluid. And the next one I want us to talk about is the transmission fluid.
Transmission.
Yes.
Transmission.
The transmission is basically what is the middleman between the engine that produces the power and the wheels that use the power. Okay, so without that middleman, your car won't. It's I don't know how your car would move.
Okay,
because you see, when the way the engine is designed, it could just have one rev. So as soon as they turn it on, it could just go, then it's just there.
Yeah.
Or it could go, and it's just there.
Yeah.
So it's the transmission that coordinates the power you want at that point in time, or how fast and how it should distribute the power and all those things. Is the transmission that does all those things.
Okay.
And there is a fluid for that, and that fluid is what causes that smooth operation. All the smooth operation that your car has, it is the transmission.
Okay.
So having issues with that, you realize that your car might start jerking, the gear might not even go, or you might be in one gear, like you start the engine and it's in just one gear. It's not able to go through all the gears.
Yeah.
Without, if the transmission oil or the transmission fluid is very important.
Okay.
It's very important for what it does for your car.
Awesome. So yes, if for any reason your car loses transmission fluid, you have to replace it right away.
Exactly.
Or the car won't work well, and moreover, you can lose your transmission.
Like you can lose
some cars. I didn't know this. Okay. And I went to Abosokai, and I have quite a number of friends there, and we're just chatting about the engine, and they told me that then I wanted them to reduce the price of the engine. So I said, then why don't you Abosokai, normally the engines come with gearboxes, then I told them that so why don't they remove the gearbox and sell it to me cheaper? And they said that for that particular car, the gearbox they spoil, so nobody they buy. You get it?
So they're just selling everything together.
Yes, but there are some cars, and they mentioned a couple of cars. There are some cars, the gearbox is even more expensive than the engine. Into the gearbox in
because they don't naturally get somebody to buy a
Yeah, because it's a car's weak point. It's the weak point of that particular car. So it's something that people ask for very often, and it's very, very pricey. So that is the sweet spot of that particular engine deal. Wow. So they would rather sell the engine to you cheap and keep the gearbox. And the other reliable ones there, because it's going to become what do you call it? It's going to become garbage for them after a while. So that underscores how important some of these conversations that we are having are. Gearbox is very, or the transmission, if I use the proper word, transmission is very, very important. And like you said, we call it gearbox because it has gears inside, and the gears usually are metal on metal, and sometimes there are some plastic components inside there, and they are moving around. And if there's no oil, massa, it will spoil.
I can think of like a million ways that it, because that one.
Yeah, when we were talking about lubrication or engine oil, we didn't mention that the oil breaks down with use.
Oh, okay. So it's just like even
that's why we have to change the oil.
Yeah, that's why we have to change the oil. It's just like even cooking at home. Once you pour the oil fresh, you use it. Yes, you can reuse it, but I realize that after maybe like 2-3 times of using it, the oil breaks down, like the property changes, and it's either it's not healthy to eat or it doesn't do what it's supposed to. There's so many things. I mean, carbon, because you have to understand that it's burning and you are putting particles inside. That's the food, and there will be small particles that fall off because you are probably using flour or you're using some spices, whatever it is. So it will have reactions, and after some time it breaks down. In the same way, when it's going around, it's things are hitting things. Heat. A lot of things are going. It's being wind together like so fast. Like a lot of things happen.
Okay.
So after some time, it breaks down. After some time, it loses its properties from time to time. Sometimes it might take a while. Sometimes to Charlie, it might not take that long a while. Then you have to change it. So it breaks down. That's true.
All right. So that is transmission fluid.
Yeah, that's a transmission fluid.
So from transmission fluid, what else can we talk about?
So it's not all cars that have this, but some cars have it, and that's the differential.
The differential.
Okay. So for most rear wheel drives or four wheel drives, they have something at the back called a differential, and I don't know if I should go into what it does, but then basically it moves the power from the transmission from the front to the back wheels. Okay, so that's basically what it does.
It is.
Exactly. So for that component, it has its oil that helps it do what it's supposed to do. So the fluid in the differential is also very important. Yeah.
All right. Also.
Very important.
Yeah.
And there's one more.
Yes.
This one there, you won't get me on this one.
Yes.
And it is the windscreen
washer fluid.
The fluid.
Awesome.
That's also very. It looks like it's not, but it's very important.
Very important. If you are driving in the rain, or you are driving and some bed did you dirty, and you try to wipe it, and the whole whiskey became wet
because there's no water so there's no fluid in it. That's why you see that Jesus is Lord.
Yes, yes, very, very, very important. I mean, that is one particular scenario that can be terrible.
Let's that Charlie.
No. And a lot of times, a lot of people we just tend to put water inside. Yeah, we just want to put water.
I remember the time we bought the car I'm using right now. They put the proper
coolant.
The truth.
The washer.
The truth of the matter, like what you are saying. Most Ghanaians, I'm even sure people don't even know they have a special fluid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of people don't know.
I'm sure, but they put that special fluid in it. Okay. And I was amazed the way that it wipes it like clean. And I don't know how they did it. You see, that's the point. They designed it. They know what they are doing, but it is not what's it called, sunlight, or it's not detergent or whatever it is that they put inside. But you see that it's a bit foamy, and it is just wiping the thing. It wipes it so clean. Okay.
And apart from wiping it clean, the other thing that it does,
so I was going to even this one, I even experienced it in the course of last week, or let's say this week. The week is not last week. So you realize that you use normal water and it wipes, but it leaves some sort of
smudges and traces.
Traces, yeah, exactly. It leaves some sort of traces on your screen. So that when you wipe it, you wipe your tire. It won't go because of the property. You see, that's what I was saying. So for that one, it is like a bit soapy. I don't know what they are. I even tried.
It's specially formulated.
Exactly. I even tried formulating mine, and I went to put sunlight, the liquid one. So I mixed it. Before I poured it in, and I regretted. So please don't try that at home. I regretted bad. So I was just praying for the water. So I was just wasting at the point. I was wasting it so that I could just put normal water in at that point. So there's a special fluid. I think the problem at a point was getting it was a bit difficult.
Yeah, but now a lot of the vendors have
it now.
And I think that one of the reasons why some vendors might not have is because when they put them on the shelf, nobody buys
it, and that's the problem.
But please, they are very, very important. And we see one thing is that it also protects the wiper itself.
Exactly.
Okay, and protects your windscreen. If any car that has seen a bit of action, just look at the windscreen. Even when it is very, very clean, you see tiny microscopic streaks on it.
Exactly.
Where is that coming from? It's the wear that the wipers cause to.
We should understand that we are in an environment where there's dust everywhere. It is now you can't do anything about it. There's dust everywhere, and when you are driving, it is hitting your windscreen, and some deposits themselves there.
Yeah.
Now, when you mix with water, It's just like you going to take sand, put sand in the water and pour it on your car. Then you are asking.
That is why I don't like those boys who wipe. I hate it.
We don't even know the water they are using.
It's actually dirty water they are using to clean your.
You understand?
I told them no.
Particles.
If you want money, ask for money. If I have, I'll give you.
If I
don't touch my windscreen. And I always fight with them. Yeah, and then force me pen talk, but please, I can't sit down for them to spoil my things. Oh, now I can.
Because you see, the sand, they are particles. They have a special way they are formed that God formed them, and they are hard. Believe it or not. So imagine the wiper carrying that and scratching it on your windscreen. It's not safe.
And these days, some of the high quality, windscreen washer fluids are even manufactured with nano something in it. So sometimes they actually repel water.
Okay.
I remember I used to have a car. When it came, they coated the windscreen with something. I don't know exactly what, but when it came for months, when any liquid goes on the windscreen, it starts beading. It starts beading and dripping off. So even before the wiper does its thing, most of it is off. There. So these are some of the things. I know there are ceramic, we call it ceramic shield, waxing, or when you polish your car, some of them are like that. They have those properties. When the water goes on, it just beads off. Exactly. Normally when you spray water on a car, it tends to want to cling on the car, but this one breaks that kind of thing, and it just beats off. Yeah. And for months it was on it, but I think it wears out. So with time it wore out. And I know I've seen certain adverts of some of these products from some vendors that they've stated that it has these kinds of qualities. And I think that if you love your car, you don't want to spend a lot of money. Yes, you want to invest into some of these, but the water there, the time pass. Time pass. Yes, you can even conjecture or conspiracy, theories that say that the manufacturers intentionally do these things so that some people will get some business to do and make some money. Yes, it's possible. Me and you were not there, but it's possible. But that doesn't mean that you will also be careless and you lose your car.
But the thing is, even at the end of the day, they've done it. If it is a way to make money, they've already done it.
Yeah.
So if you go against it, who will suffer?
You will suffer.
Exactly.
Because you don't know where they are to go and sue them.
Exactly. So
you
can't even sue them. It's their product.
Even if you get them to sue over break.
No, how will you sue? It's their product. They are telling you to buy. They didn't put a gun to your head to buy it.
Yeah.
You understand? So at the end of the day, so you have to just comply. So that you enjoy.
Yeah.
I mean, you may think that you've gotten away with some of these things till you get caught. Then you realize that, oh no, all this while I was actually setting myself up for wahala. So
all right. Salam. Yeah, so anything else you want to add to the discussion?
So far, I mean, it's not so far. These are the fluids that run the car.
Yes.
Okay, and these are the fluids you have to keep your eyes on. And another very important fluid, I almost forgot this one. You actually forgot it yourself. It's a fuel.
It's a fuel, Charlie. All right, guys. So thank you, and bye for now.